Kruleboyz go 5-0 with a list written by Tad and piloted by Tad Baten. Let's have a look. I'm very excited. I think we're back, boys. But of course, first thanks to all the patrons, Barian for the channel art, and Baron of Dice. Use code MDG to get 5% off your order at Baron of Dice. So the tournament was Age of Sigmar's Sacramento Smackdown. And this took place, I'm assuming, in Sacramento, California. Yep. Only 17 players registered in this event. So not a very big event, right? So, you know, do with that what you will. But still, Tad Baten going 5-0 with Kruleboyz. You'll also notice here, lots of high scores. 65, I think, being the lowest, which means 3 battle tactics achieved if you score max on the primary. I'm sure he wasn't scoring max on the primary every single game, but still quite impressive. Oh, look at Ironjaw's player way down here. Sorry, buddy. Do better next time. We'll talk about you on the list or on the show. We were the coolest of boys. We were the cutest of boys. Cute boys summer. Hashtag cute boy summer. 2,000 points. Swamp Horde Bullies. Of course, I think it's pretty obvious that Swamp Horde Bullies is going to be the best one, by a lot. We have a 4 drop list here. Lore of the Swamp, of course. Manifestations of Gorkamorka, Restless Energy, and Scouting Force. So, battle tactics is something that I am still unsure about. It's still something that I have to play more games, because I was watching an Honest Wargamer video this morning, and I was seeing a ton of top placing lists do Intercept and Recover and Master the Paths. And I'm starting to think that might be the way to go, where you're just like, I'm just going to kill you. And I'm not going to worry about like board position and taking objectives and having units outside of my territory. I think I'm just going to kill you, right? Intercept and Recover is just like, I'm going to kill the 3 units that you pick. And then Master the Path is, the first one is I kill one of your heroes, right? And then the second one is if you control every objective within... Oh no, that's Restless Energy. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one here. More friendly units in neutral than enemy, right? So, and then Envelop and Strangle. It's like you have to have units wholly within 9 inches of 3 of the corners, right? And one of those is in friendly, and you can set up one of those units. So it's like between Sneaky Sneakin' and Nash Tooth, it's like that's relatively easy to do. So I'm kind of thinking I might lean more that way, but time will tell. Anyway, carrying on. So here we have Kill a Boss on Corpse Ripavulcha. So I mean, there's so many. I'm gearing up to do a Kruleboyz tier list, and almost no units are like bad. All the units I feel are like at least like a B plus. So I'm feeling really good about that. The Corpse Ripavulcha has Slippery Scumbag, which is something that we've seen a lot just over time. And then he also has Toughen. So Toughen is subtract 1 from the Ren characteristic of weapons used for attacks that target this unit. So it says weapons and attacks. So this includes ranged weapons. So essentially what this is doing is I can't think of any instance where it isn't the case, where he's just getting a +1 save. Where suddenly you have your kill boss on Vulcha that has he's now a 3-up save. So that's pretty cool. The alternatives, I mean, there's all 3 of these are good on a Vulcha boss, right? Sneakin' is probably Sneakin' is probably best on a Vulcha boss, right? Because it can just move in your enemy's hero phase, and his move is 12 inches. So that's really good. Mavine is good on him too, because it does give +1 to hit, including companion weapons. However, he's not really there to be super punchy. He's there to be super fast and mobile. He's there to get into combat with Swamp Horde Bullies. I think that in a list, you either want to have either a kill boss on Corpse Ripavulcha, or you want to have a kill boss on Nash Tooth. You want a Nash Tooth or a Vulcha boss. I think every list is going to want one or the other. But the Vulcha boss is sick. I'm a big fan. Moving on, 2 reinforced units of Gut Rippas. Again, I think this is going to be pretty standard to see If you only have one, then because obviously Swamp Forward Bullies is best with a reinforced unit of Gut Rippers, like by a lot. This unit of Gut Rippers is going to deal 20 mortal wounds if everything is going the way that it's supposed to, which is not that difficult to do. But if your opponent like nukes one, or Gravetides one, or range shoots one, then you have another one that's still ready to go. But if you only have one and you lose it, it might be hard to come back and deal enough damage when you need to do it. Swamp Kala Shaman with the Swamp Staff, not surprised to see that, right? Swamp Kala Shaman is maybe the best shaman in all of Destruction. And then 3 MSU units of Bolt Boys. So that's pretty cool. Bolt shooting is not dead, but I think that MSU is probably maybe better now. Although I don't know, it's hard to say. The thing is if you're taking Scouting Force, then all of these Bolt Boys are scouts. They're scouts that can teleport. So with just these Bolt Boys, if you're taking Scouting Force, you could accomplish your tactics. So that's definitely if you're not, like if this wasn't Scouting Force, if this was Intercept and Recover, or if this was Master the Paths, then I would say that you want to probably reinforce one of these units of Bolt Boys. But it's not, it's Scouting Force, right? So that's pretty cool. We have a Scourge of Gyran Swamp Boss Scumdrack, so that's not shocking to see. This thing just slaps and is quite good. I mean, if we were looking at, if we wanted to look at our damage, right? The new Scumdrack is dealing like 11, 12 damage, which is quite a bit. And it's lots and lots of mortals. So he's approaching that 5 damage per 100 points, which is really, really good. And he's just really good at taking out bricks of infantry. So I think that you either want a Scourge of Gyran Scumdrack, a Soggy Scumdrack, or you want to break a boss. Or you can take both, right? But I think that that's kind of how these Kruleboy lists are going to be. So if you're sitting there at home wondering how, you should build your list, build your army, and you're unsure, it's like, well, do you have Scumdrack or break a boss? Do you have Gnash Tooth or Vulture Boss? If the answer is no, then you probably should be including at least one. One for mobility and one for slappiness. Do you have Monster-Killers? Right? If the answer is no, then you probably need Monster-Killers. Right? At least 1 or 2 units. We have Marshcollar Sloggoth. So this is just really good for getting those Gut Rippers into position when they need to be. Being able to spend a command point and run 6 inches with the unit of Gut Rippers and then charge when you need to is key, in my opinion. I think that Sloggoth is absolutely very, very good. 2 units of Monster Killers, and then we have a Merknob with Belchabana and a unit of Hobgrot Slidus. And this list comes out to exactly 2,000 points. So Belchabana is, I think, just sits in the tower. That's what he's there for, right? He's the best unit that we have that can just sit in the tower. If you have a few extra points, it could be another Shaman in your list, right? But we're exactly at 2,000 points here. And then finishing off the list, we have Hobgrot Slidus. So this is another... I mean, these guys are just going to get in the way. These guys are just feet, right? They're not really serving any purpose. They're just kind of like... They're just kind of there. So, yeah, I mean, pretty awesome list. What we don't see in this list is a Killbow. Right? If you wanted to fit a Killbow, there's 170 points between a unit of Bolt Boys and Hobgrot Slidus. So that's enough for a Killbow with a little bit left over. We also don't see a Break-A-Boss, but again, it's like, yeah. I mean, this list runs more units compared to what my list does. Right? It's got an extra Manskewer Bolt Boy unit. In fact, it's got 2 extra Manskewer Bolt Boy units. And a Hobgrot Slidus unit, while my list runs a Break-A-Boss and a Killbow, and then a Gnash Tooth instead of a Killboss on Corpse Rip Vulture. I really like the Gnash Tooth, but yeah, this season it's looking really good. Like I'm feeling like the internal balance in Kruleboyz is really strong. Everything about this is coming up. Kruleboyz. So if you know this player, Tad Baten, please let him know. I'm looking to hear why he arrived at this list and how he piloted this list. I'd be very interested to have a chat with him. So please let me know. But until then, you know that I want you to like, subscribe, and wah.